we're all sort of trying to figure out from an early age how this whole thing works, right? For me, drawing was a way to artificially create an environment where I could control my own little version of life that made sense to me. My name's Aaron Becker. I'm an illustrator. This summer I'm working on a children's book called Journey. It's a wordless picture book, and it's about a girl who enters an imaginary world, and when she gets there, she can control things a bit by what she draws. The format of a wordless book came about pretty naturally for me. I wanted the pictures to really tell the story, and I like how the reader has to figure out what's going on, and it sort of forces them to sit there and take it all in without feeling like they need to turn the page and keep reading. But, making it work is a whole nother question. I mean, you have to solve all of your problems visually. You have to tell the story without using language, and it's doable, but in 40 pages, it's a tricky prospect. So the first step is to map out the whole story in just sketch form and play around with subtle things on each page that really are important to make sure the story is making sense and moving along. In fact, each page has to sort of answer something from the previous spread and then also bring up a potential hint at what might be happening next. In the end, it took about 2 or 3 months to get the story into form. And I reviewed it with the editors at Candlewick, and at that point we're like, okay, it's time to start making this into a book. Now, before I could actually start drawing anything that was a little tighter and more final, I had to design this world. I had to design, the costumes, the sets. That was a lot of fun, but it took a long time. I had friends tell me, you're crazy to do this in watercolor. It's the hardest thing to do. But all of my favorite books for kids were in watercolor, and there's something fantastic about this medium. Once you get used to it, you realize there's this delicate balance between, controlling what you're doing and just kind of letting it go. I live in Amherst, Massachusetts. It's about 2 hours west of Boston, and I was able to get some studio space to work on this book at an old mill that's been converted into a bookstore, and they've got a record store there, an art gallery, a little cafe. It was an ideal place, really, to set up shop. I spent most of my life out in California working in the film industry as a concept designer, and at some point I just really wanted to buy a house and couldn't really afford one out there, so we decided to move back east to be near family and hopefully start one of our own. Well, we did have a baby girl recently, and I feel like this is kind of a defining moment for me where I can concentrate a bit more on family and my own creative projects. We'll see what happens. Do it.
Take 47.
This is it. This is the magic number.